Alright, good morning everyone. Today is Wednesday, February 8th, 2012. We're going to go over the trades that were taken in live trading room this morning. I was late getting into the trading room. I missed the trades, and when some of the trades were put on, I was taking trades in another market that we were not looking at. You can see right here, this is what Dwayne's results were in the live trading room this morning. He got plus 20 points on the YM and 1 tick on the ES. Okay, now I'm going to shift the charts and your presentation over to my computers here. So now we should be recording back on my computer. Alright, let me just make sure. Yep, the audience view is right there. Alright, so let me go through the actual trade setups this morning, okay? What Dwayne was talking about a few minutes ago, as we closed out the morning session, we had dropped through this support level right here, that support level right there, and we had said then that we anticipate the dots to start printing right in this area right here. That was when price was back here. It took a little longer. They did print in the same area, in the same level anyway, but it just took a little longer, so you just got to shift it over. We expected to see the resistance dots start printing there. Okay, so those resistance dots will probably hold here. We'll see. We don't know yet, but I'm just gonna have to wait on that one. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll back here. This is the 10,000 contract chart, and I'm also going to show the 2100 tick chart because we had a trade come together in the same place on both charts. All right. Let me just show that trade. Okay. It was right here. Now I have the rules printed right here on the 2100. For those of you who want to take a look at the rules, they are right here, and I would expand them if I could, but for some reason I don't seem to be able to. There we go. They stretched out a lot for some reason. Anyway, what we were looking for here was a cross down below the BBC by the MA1. The BBC is the green line, the MA1 is the red and blue line. Once it did that, we're looking for price to pull back up to the BBC, which it did right here. We were also looking for the cycle to cross down below the 50. It did that. Once it pulled back up here, there was a 2-point bracket put on the trade. I didn't actually take this trade. I originally had the trade set up to enter at a 1345 limit, which would have filled, but I had taken a trade on the 6E, and I didn't want to have all that risk going in the same direction, because I had a bunch of contracts on. So I took off my ES trade and I let the 6E trade go. Now I wish I would have left the ES trade on, but in hindsight, it's always 2020. Anyway, you can see the trade did well. It went to the target. The same setup was happening over here on the 10K. We were looking for basically the same thing. We had a bearish cross over the BBC or under the BBC by the MA1, a pullback up to the BBC for an entry there, and that just dropped right down through support, through the weekly trading zone, and now it's below the weekly trading zone here. All right. At the same time, there was a trade over here on the YM. We had a bearish cross, a pullback to the BBC, which was inside the weekly trading zone. And that is one that Dwayne took. The yellow arrows on it mean that it was taken inside the live trading room. Okay, Dwayne took 12 ticks on that one. And earlier on, right over here, he took 8. Is this it? No, that's at 5:17 in the morning. This one right here, he took 8 ticks on this one. Okay, I didn't mark it here because he had the charts when he did this. But Dwayne took 8 ticks on this trade right here. We had the bullish cross and the pullback down to the BBC, and took 8 ticks once it filled the window of opportunity right there. For those of you who don't know, the window of opportunity is the area between the BBC and the MA1. All right, there and there. When price pulls back to the BBC, if it's going to trade in the direction that we anticipate it trading, it's almost always going to fill that window of opportunity. Oftentimes the MA1 will hold price, like it ended up doing over here. The MA1 held the price and pushed it back down. So we call that the window of opportunity, and that's a great place to start taking profits or reduce your risk or any of those things. You can see we had a bullish cross right here. It hasn't pulled back down yet to the BBC to give us a long opportunity yet. All right, we may be doing that, but the problem with that is that the ES is going right into the weekly trading zone. So that will likely cause this to move down if it's going to. The resistance over here is going to show over here as well. All right. Let's see. On the 4-tick range, let me just show you what was going on the 4-tick range today. There was a trade right here that I didn't get in this morning. I had gotten into the room right about this time, and I was just getting my stuff going. This was a valid trade. If I had taken the trade, I would have gotten a break even on it. Price went up 1.25. Once it goes a point in my favor, I move my stop to break even. It would have got me out of break even right over here. It turned around and gave a trade right here. Now this trade is not a typical CFRN trade. This is a George trade, named after one of our partners named George. And what he likes to see it do is, if price goes 3 ticks outside the box, then the first pullback to the BBC, after it's done that, he'll take that trade. And he did this morning. He rounds it a little bit differently. He enters the trade a little bit differently. He rounds away from price with a limit order, whereas we round toward price with an MIT order. Just a couple of little nuances that are different. There was no trade opportunity here because we needed a fresh bubble, and we did not get the bubble by the time it pulled back up to the BBC. All right, the 6E. The 6E was moving around pretty nicely this morning. These are the results of the one trade that I took. Not exactly spectacular. Got a partial fill on a tick. This, well, it wasn't negative, which is a good sign. But let me just go over it here on the 6E. Okay, I'll just go over it quickly. I'm not going to go over every single move, but I'll go over it quickly. Over here, let me scroll back a little more. Let's see, right in here. Price started to move up. The white was to the left of the green. Entry in here, risk down here, and a move up. Again, same thing. Entry in here, risk down here for the move up. Let's see, over here it was going right into the zone on the way down, so there wouldn't have been any entry in there. If you wanted to enter on this roll down right here, the price, the white is to the wrong side of the green on that one, so there's nothing there. But over here, white is to the left of the green. That's what you want to look for. You want the white line to be the left of the green line. Okay, this one didn't go very far. It went a little way. You know, you probably would have moved your stop to break even. When I say it didn't go very far, I mean 54 up to 61. That's 7 ticks. That's almost a 2-point equivalent in the ES. Okay, then it rolled over, and there was opportunity on the downside here, right there. And again, right in there. It started to chop around inside the weekly trading zone right here. So you have to honor the weekly trading zones. No matter what you're trading, you have to honor the weekly trading zones. Now, recently right here, it had a move up right here. Moved all the way up there. Okay. Let me slide that off. And I'll show similar stuff on a 4-tick range. This is the 6E on a 4-tick range. Now with the 4-tick range, I like to use divergence with the combo indicator as much as possible, using the white line as the entry trigger, with the price getting above the MA1. All right, so right here, for instance, would have been a spot to enter. Let me scroll back. There weren't as many opportunities here, but there were some. Okay, right there. And right over there. On the short side, right in here. Now, if we scroll back to the pre-market, there was some chop in here. This one right here would have failed. Okay, because risk would have to be above the pivot, the swing pivot that got you into the trade. So in this case, it would have been right there. Okay, so that would not have worked out. You know, we're way into the pre-market here now. I did get up and trade some of this morning. I know one of our partners, Bob, was also trading it this morning. You see what I'm looking for is just the divergence here, and then when the white line turns up and you close on the other side of the MA1. All right. Pretty simple stuff, pretty basic, easy to do, easy to follow. There was just another one right in here. There was divergence right here. The close up above would have been right there. Your risk would have to be below here. And that one is actually still going, though I would have been out of it by now. Let's see. I think that covers it. Do you guys have any questions? Does anybody have any questions anywhere? So in the end, Dwayne, there was one trade I didn't show you that I wanted to show you on the 2100 tick, where Dwayne got his one tick on the ES. Okay, let me spread this out a little bit. And oops. And I'll show you where it was. Okay, these are the rules for the 2100 tick. They finally got, so they can be displayed. There they are. Now they're on the video. Okay. I'm going to take them off because they're messing up my chart. But the place where Dwayne had taken his one tick was right in here. He was using the naked 2100 tick, which means he didn't have the BBC on there. Alright, he just had the MA1. Not using any of this stuff down here. Just using the MA1. Price closed up above the MA1 right here, and it pulled back down to it here at 1345. He had an order on there at 1345. That was an MIT order. It triggered him in at 1345.25. Price, he said, went 5 ticks in his favor. He moved his stop up to plus 1 tick at that point, and it came back out and stopped him on the next bar at plus 1 tick, right there at 1345 half. Okay, it did end up going the full 2 points. 1347 quarter is where the target would have been, the 2-point profit target. Then on the way down, we pointed this out this morning too. This right here, just using the naked 2100 tick, that's where you would have entered on that. Okay. Let's see, I think that is it. So ending the morning session, got 1 tick ES and 20 points YM. All right.